Hello and welcome to Healy Fit with your instructor, Jen. Today I have an intermediate yoga practice for you with several great benefits. We're going to do some heart opening poses, some great stretches for your hips as well as your shoulders. So grab a mat and let's begin. We'll start out seated, legs crossed or extended, so whatever seated position you prefer. Relax your hands into your lap. Closed eyes or soft focus. Just focus on each breath. Allow each inhale and exhale to be exactly as they are. Slowly bow your head towards chin to chest, ear to shoulder, chin to chest, and to the other side. So gently swaying and rocking the head side to side. Notice any tightness or tension that you're holding on to. If you need to pause on one side or the other, allow yourself to do just that. And let's join you there. So pausing to one side, take your hand on to the outer edge of your head, just gentle pressure, allowing the earlobe to fall a bit closer to the shoulder. Rolling your head down towards your chin to chest, fingertips wrapped around one another, draw your elbows in and down, and then extend along the back of the neck. Release the head to the other side, ear to shoulder. Just gentle pressure, releasing any tightness you're holding on to along the outer edge of the head. So you bring your head back in center, release it to the back, lift your chin up nice and tall, head back, shoulders pulled back, chest wide and open, and then let's go all the way around, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, head to back, chin to chest, and again. Continue that gentle rocking of the head, and let's take it the other direction. And as you bring your head into the center, let's start to roll into the shoulders, lifting them up, down, and back. Now let's bring them around to the front. A few shoulder rolls up, in, and down. Let's dive into the shoulders. We're going to pull one arm across the chest, grab above or below the elbow. As you fold the arm in, feel length along the middle of the shoulder. Maybe look side to side. And let's try the other one. Pull that arm in close to you, look side to side. And then let it go. Next up, let's extend the legs all the way to the front. Interlace the fingers behind you. Open up along the chest and then hinge forward to your edge. Toes flex in or pointed, whatever feels best for you. Try to relax the backs of the knees down towards the mat. Open along the front. Relax the shoulders down. And let's bring the fingertips right beside your hips, elbows tucked underneath the shoulders, coming into this fish pose modification. So the toes are angled out to each side. Belly is lifted, chest is lifted up away from hips, and your head falls back. Keep the shoulders and chest open here. It's almost like you're being harnessed to the sky or to the ceiling. As you rise up, push into the backs of the hands. Tuck one knee in, cross it over top. All right, so if this is our right leg, we have our left arm wrapped around, right arm back behind us, and we're looking over the back right shoulder. Option, you can take your elbow to the outer edge of the thigh, pushing thigh against elbow, elbow against thigh, opening along the chest line. So really feel that stretch from shoulder to shoulder, and then across the edges of the back and obliques. Coming back in, elbow to knee, hand to back. We're going to try to elevate ourselves from here. So from that pressure position, you're going to start to extend the right hand up to the sky, push into that right leg and come up into this wonky wild thing position. So the foot is in the wrong spot. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to balance and stabilize. Back into the center, legs crossed, reach out towards both feet, try to unfold the knees best you can, relax into the back, and every breath maybe walk one step further down the feet, or maybe bend the elbows or bow the head a bit further. Inhale, rise up. Now we're going to take the left leg. First start with that chest opening, hip hinge, open up along the backs of the thighs. Maybe going a bit higher this time. So now that we've opened up a bit more into the chest and shoulders, see if you can elongate a bit more. Now we can step the left foot over top of the right. Right arm wraps around, left thumb to the back. Rotate your whole body around, looking over that back shoulder. Maybe right elbow comes to the outer edge of the left knee, and we push elbow against knee to get more of that rotational stretch. Back in through center, we twist to the other side. Elbow to knee, right hand back beside you. Take a deep inhale in, reach that arm up to the sky, push into the foot, onto your heel, or raising up to the ball of the foot. Hold on to that figure 4 plank or wonky wild thing. Back into center, we cross the legs, we reach out towards the toes, and we fold. Now, again, maybe this time we go a bit further. So every time we revisit a stretch, we have the opportunity to go a bit deeper, a bit more intensely into that release. Next move, we're going to go into a hurdler stretch. So I'm going to take right leg forward, heel and knee kind of line up along the front edge of the mat, and then the back left leg is bent, knee to hip line, maybe past hip line. So this is kind of a pigeon prep position. We are going to take our left hand to our foot and reach our right hand up and over to the left side of the mat. Trying to get some elongation from hip to shoulder, and now we're going to hinge over the heel. So dropping our body down, this is going to be a great stretch for that outer right glute into the outer right thigh, and then up in through that outer edge of the back as well. As you lift up, sweep both feet into the front, coming into your Baddha Konasana or your bound angle position. Hands wrap around the toes, drop the knees towards your mat, lift your chest up tall, let your head fall back. Try to pull the shoulders back and in. Lift and elongate through the chest as you hinge the body back. Next, exhale, let it go. Bring the left foot to the front, sweep the right leg over to the back, coming into that hurdler stretch on this side. We start in the elevated position, lift up, try to drive that back right hip forward. So we get a little bit of stretch in through the hip crease, in through our hip flexor. Now go ahead and lift that outer left arm up and over, reach out towards the right side, lengthening as much as you can from hip out to fingertips. One more breath, and then hinge over that front heel, bringing yourself down to your hands, maybe down to your elbows, maybe even releasing the chest all the way over that front heel. Use every breath as an opportunity to go a bit deeper. Now one hand to heel, one hand to knee, rise up. Send both knees back behind you, outer edges of the mat with your heels and with your knees. Let's exhale, drop down into the elbows to your edge. Inhale, lift up, push the mat away, walk the hands one step further forward. Exhale, drop down into the elbows. Inhale, rise up, lift, walk the hands another step forward, drop down to your edge, your level. So this is where you feel the stretch, but you don't feel like you're causing any pain or strain or discomfort. Frog pose can be a really deep inner thigh opener, so we're following those outer thigh movements with this inner thigh opening. Shift your whole body forward, walk your feet to about mat distance apart. Onto the elbows, lift the chest in and through, coming into this wide stance, Sphinx pose. Now from here, we're going to take the right hand over to the left elbow, take the left hand around the top of the foot, and either go into a half bow pose or half grasshopper like I'm doing here. Elbow in, you can wrap your arm around from forearm all the way down to hand, and we're trying to drive the heel to the outer edge of the hip. So this is a really deep quadricep opener. As you release the heel, let's try for the other side. So we sweep the hand back. Left hand is now there for support. We bring the heel to the outer edge of the hip, feeling that stretch along the front of the thigh. One more big deep breath. And then let's release that foot back down. Shake the hips out a little bit, just rock them out side to side. And now let's go ahead and bring both feet in. So maybe one at a time or both at the same time. We reach and try to grasp for the heel, tuck it in towards you, push the feet down towards the floor, lift and open across the chest by squeezing the scapula, the shoulders in together. Elbows up and in, or you can come into your bow pose. So knees kind of elevated up from the mat. The tops of the feet are dragging the hands away so you get more of that chest opening. Release all the way back down, and let's push, press, and release back into our child's pose. Arms to the front, hips to the heels. Lengthen all the way from the tailbone out to your fingertips. As you rise up, look out towards those fingertips, come up into kneeling, and then curl toes under heels, lift the knees up from the floor, coming into your plank position. Rise up onto toes, exhale down into your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lift into Cobra or Up Dog. And then roll the toes under, push, press, and lift, coming into your Downward Facing Dog. Now you can walk, or you can settle the heels down, whatever feels best for you. We're going to send your right heel up to the sky, extending those toes all the way up into your three-legged dog. Fold the knee in, bring it over to your right shoulder. Extend the right leg all the way back up into three-legged dog. And then this time, let's send the knee through both thumbs, lifting the knee up from the floor. Press all the way up and back into three-legged dog. Now we're going to weave across to the other side. So now bringing it to the left side of your mat. Bring it all the way back into three-legged dog. And let's step all the way forward this time. Pivot the back heel around, right hand to inner calf. Lift the left hand all the way up to the sky, coming into your side angle pose. And from here, we're going to follow that left hand, look out over your right fingertips, coming into your Virabhadrasana 2, your Warrior 2 position. Left hand comes to the back thigh, right hand comes up and over into your Exalted Warrior pose. And then from there, we're pivoting everything around to the front, both hands up to the sky, sinking into that front knee into your Warrior 1 position. Hands back, down to hips, open across the chest. As you do, hinge forward, coming into your pyramid pose. Option here, if you have the flexibility, you could bring your hands up into prayer pose along the back, or you could bring your hands down to the floor for more support. We're going to join you if you decided on that option. Both hands inner edge of the foot, step both feet back. Exhale down into Chaturanga. Inhale, rise into your Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, push, press, lift, Downward Facing Dog, and we breathe. Think of your Downward Facing Dog as your pit stop, so your opportunity to kind of reset, refold, and if it's too much for your shoulders, you just come into Child's Pose instead. So let's try this on the left. Left leg up, we're going to fold it into that left elbow, and then extend back up into your three-legged dog. Bring the knee, thread it through the thumbs, coming into that runner's position, and then lift left leg up. Now we're going to bring it over to the right side. A little pivot turn, leg comes up, and now we're going to step it through. So exhale, take a big step, help that foot out if needed, pivot the back heel around, left hand to inner arch, right hand all the way up to the sky, open up along the hips, try to pivot your legs. We're going to follow that right hand up, coming into your Virabhadrasana 2. Hands parallel to the mat, trying to unfold that back leg as we drop into the front. Next we go into our Exalted Warrior, backward lean. And then pivot back to our front and center into Warrior 1. Hands to sky, sinking into your front thigh, opening that back hip. Speaking of hips, bring those hands to your hip, unfold the front knee, coming into your pyramid pose. Toes up, toes down, whatever feels right for you. If you feel like you've got the stability, you can bring your toes up. And now we're going to bring our hands down to the floor, step back into plank again. Exhale down into chaturanga. Inhale, rise, cobra or up dog. Exhale, push, press, lift, downward facing, and we breathe. All right, let's send that right leg back up to the sky. Point the toes, extend the leg, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Fold the knee into the center this time. Inhale, rise into your Warrior 1. Exhale, hands to front thigh. Hop, step, or float that back left leg up. Coming into a balanced position here. Now flex the toes towards the shin. Try to bring your right hand towards the floor. If that's not achievable for you today, we just work with what we've got. Slowly lift that left hand up, coming into your half moon position. Looking down for more stability and balance, forward for a little bit more challenge, or up for that extra challenge. From half moon, lift up into your standing split. Fold your chest down towards your front thigh. Lift that back leg up, 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 up. Fast. Release. Cross over. Unfold the knees. Stretch in through the hamstring. Slowly walk your hands up the front thigh. Inhale, extend the arms all the way up. And let's lean over to that right side. Good, feeling that stretch along the outer left hip into your iliotibial band. As you uncross, you're going to lift your right knee up, cross it over top of your left, coming into your standing pigeon pose. Good, so feel the outer thigh stretch. Try to balance on that left leg. Hands up, or you can fold your hands in towards your heart. I've got steeple pose, thumb and forefinger touch, other three fingers interlaced. And as you come out, bring the feet back into a mid stance, kind of just outside hips. Fingertips reach up and back, backward bend. Exhale, swan dive down towards the mat, hands down towards the floor. Forward fold. Inhale into your flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Walk, step, or hop into your plank position. Rise up, exhale into chaturanga. Inhale, lift into cobra or up dog. Exhale, push, press, lift. We are back into our downward facing, pedaling the heels, releasing any tightness or tension. Just as soon as we started, that left leg is up, stepping through the thumbs, pivot the back leg, rise up into your Warrior 1. Sink into the front thigh, rotate the back hip. Feel the outer blade of the back foot into the floor. As you exhale, hands to front thigh. Lift up and balance. Flex the toes in towards the shin. Good. Find your balance before you pivot. Left hand to the floor, right hand up. Looking down for more balance and stability. Forward or upward for that balance challenge. From half moon, reach the hands all the way down to the floor into your standing split. Really lift that right leg up, 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 up. Try to push it all the way into an imaginary wall lined up with your back. Feel that stretch into your left thigh. And now let's slowly release that right leg back. cross it over behind to the left. Hold that stretch for a moment. Feeling length along the back thigh. Slowly start to walk the hands up. Inhale, rise and extend the arms. Press the palms to one another, lean out to the side. God, feel that stretch along the right hip, all the way down through the IT band to the outer edge of the knee. Back in through center, we come into our standing pigeon pose. Ankle onto knee, reset if you need to, and then go ahead, take a seat, hands up, or you can fold them in. Try to keep the chest lifted and upright. Balance just a few seconds more. And let it go. Feet again, kind of outer edge of the mat. Inhale, lift up. Backward bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, your flat back position. Exhale, Uttanasana, your forward fold. Walk, step, or hop. Chaturanga, up dog, into down dog. So moving through those poses once again. All right, back into our right side. Slowly lift that right leg all the way up to the sky. Point through the toes. We are going to the left. So you're going to pull the knee in, cross it over to the left, balance, stabilize. Either drop that knee down or send it through, coming into starfish. As you release, left hand down to the floor. You can drop down here or come into pigeon, your choice. See, I dropped my knee in case you want to come into pigeon. Otherwise, we're trying to come into, I call this one fallen star. So we have definitely done exactly that. Fallen into this star pose, feeling this stretch across that outer right hip into the glute, up in through the back. Now we got to come up same way we came down. So we're going to start to push the floor away, lift the chest, and then lift that hip up. So we want to curl back left toes underneath, open up into our starfish again, and then pivot back, cross the leg through, coming into plank, exhale down. Inhale, rise into cobra or up dog. Exhale, push, press, lift, downward facing, and we breathe. All right, same sequence on the left. Left leg all the way up to the sky. Thread the knee through and across. Kick, reach, and come into that starfish plank. So here we have the left hand pushing firmly into the floor, right hand up to the sky. As you bring the right hand down, knee folds or stays straight, and we exhale down, 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 down into fallen star or pigeon pose if you prefer. Maybe relax the top of the foot on the back leg. Breathe. Slowly rising up, trying to recreate what we came down from. Push, press, lift, starfish. Right hand back down to the floor. Bring that left leg through, step back into plank. We'll step back into plank. Exhale, slowly walk the feet in. Or downward dog. Downward dog sounds good. Walk through the feet. Let's go ahead, bend the knees. Relax the tops of the feet to the mat. Let your chest fall onto your thighs. Release your hands to the front edge of the mat and just breathe. Just breathe here. All right, it's getting quite hot out here in the tropics. So I am going to remove my outer layer. We're going to take the right hand back behind you, left hand up to the sky, lean back, option. Raise the hips up and lean over towards that right side. Good, so this is kind of another wonky, wild thing modification. This is a great stretch through the front of the hips. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So left hand back, right hand up. Maybe raise the hips, maybe keep them where they are if that feels good for you. Squeeze into the glutes, really reach into that outer right hand. Stretch all the way from the fingertips to the shoulder, shoulder down to hips and knees. All right, now let's see if we can do both. Hero's pose. You lean back, fingertips by the heels, maybe come down to your elbows, maybe come all the way down to the back. This is all about you, your knees, your thighs. If you know this is not something that you are looking forward to, then definitely remove it from your practice today. Maybe try to go a little bit deeper. Again, you can be up onto your elbows if that feels better for you, or you can even do this hands down toward your heels into seated, hero's pose. Even there stretches a lot of the quads. All right, let's start to make our way into our final rest and relaxation. So knees folded, hands behind the hamstrings. We're gonna roll into the back, our seated cat to cow pose. Good, exhale, pull the shoulders away from the spine. Feel that stretch across the upper back. Now pull the shoulders into the spine. Lift the chest and elongate the collarbone. Exhale, release. Feel that stretch along the back body. Good, lift and extend along the front of the body. Just a few more like this. Maybe start to go a bit deeper with each inhale and exhale, lifting the chest through the shoulders, pulling the chest back all the way to the mat. Tuck your knees in towards you as you rest down to the floor. Feel that stretch along the back and glutes. Now let's roll the knees around to the sides. Called little circles, sacral massage into the back. Let's go ahead, bring those knee circles the other way. And relax. Left foot down to the floor. Let's focus on that right side. Just rotate your right knee around. Check in with your hip, your glute, your lower back. Now let's bring that knee out to the side. Gentle pressure, inner thigh. Your foot can be up, or if you release it down, see if you can relax a little bit more along the inner thigh. Now left leg can stay folded, or you might want to extend it out. Every breath you take, see if you can unfold that adductor muscle a little bit more. Feel that stretch across the inner thigh. Now let's bring the knee over to the left side, crossing over. Feel that stretch across the outer hip into the glutes, along the outer thigh, and then up in through the obliques to the shoulder and chest. Right leg back in towards you. Let's circle through the ankle. Good, tracing the ceiling around with the toes. Slowly circle around the other direction. And let's do those same stretches again. So we are going to extend the leg out to the side. Your right hand could be a kickstand, kind of holding the leg, or it can be, I call it a crowbar, opening the leg a little bit more. You can also wrap your hands around the bottom of the foot, or maybe peace fingers around the big toe. So you're in more of a hand to big toe position, opening the leg out to the side. Now let's fold it to the other side. When you're ready, extend the leg, hand to outer thigh, outer calf, or maybe outer blade of the foot. Good, feel that stretch across the hip, going deeper this round. Without the knee folded, we get a little bit more outer thigh extension, and that's going to emanate up through the glute, low back, obliques, again, chest and shoulder. Coming back in through center, let's switch sides. Knee bent or extended, we rotate that left leg around. Good, let's go ahead and bring those circles around the other way. And release the leg down to the side. Good, open, 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 open. Again, if you release the foot to the floor, you'll be able to keep that right hip square and maybe find just a little bit more depth into the inner thigh from knee along the body to the hip line. Let's bring the knee over to the right. Good. Feel that stretch across the outer edge of the body. Bring it back in through center, straight leg up to the sky, unfold the back of the knee, and let's rotate through the ankle. Bring those circles around the other way. And then we'll take it out over to the left side. So hand around thigh, calf, or maybe bottom of foot. Open, 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 open. Feel that stretch across the inner thigh. Try to keep that right leg anchored down. Breathe. Last deep breath. Let's slowly move it inward. Cross it over to the other side. Hand grabs outer edge of thigh, calf, or foot. Open, 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 open. Feel that stretch. One more deep breath. And then let's bring it back in through center. So here, one hand to belly, one hand to heart. Start to focus on each breath. Notice the rise of the chest, the expansion of the abdomen. Then notice the abdomen fall and the chest draw back away from the top hand. As you rest here, this is usually when your thoughts begin to infiltrate your silence, your solitude. And so I'm going to leave you with this quote, that all stress is caused by wanting this moment to be something it is not. I inhale what is. I accept this time for whatever it has to show me. If you choose to use a mantra, that is a beautiful mantra to use. I accept this time for whatever it has to show me. I accept this time for whatever it has to show me. I accept this time for whatever it has to show me. And now, silently in your mind. And slowly make your way back to your mat. Roll through your wrists. Spread your fingertips out and in, or add whatever stretches feel right for you at this moment. Maybe arms stretch out. Maybe you wiggle your toes. And then let's slowly bend our knees in. Drop them to the left. Reach the arms over to the right. Feeling that stretch, whole body crossover. Now this is typically where I would end my class. We'd do a few more light stretches and then come out. But I wanted to end it a little bit more actively so you don't feel like going to sleep after your practice. You feel like continuing on with your day. So a little bit different something for me. And I look forward to your comments and what you feel about this. We are going to continue our practice a bit more gently than we did earlier. Slowly rise up into seated. You might want to hold it here or peel the feet up from the floor, coming into your boat pose. Now, if that is not complicated enough for you, you are welcome to come into V-sit, arms overhead, feet out below, hold, hold, hold. Maybe play around with your feet, flex and point. Use that core strength and stability. Slowly lower your feet down to the floor. Reach hands towards toes. Lengthen along the backs of the thighs. backs of the knees, and then of course up into the back and shoulders. Next breath, we're going to separate the feet, lift on up, feet out wide, toes turned in towards you, big deep inhale up to the sky. Exhale, turn over to one leg, reach, 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 reach. Surround the thigh, the calf, or maybe the bottom of the foot. Feel that stretch along the back of the thigh. And now, let's weave hand to opposite side. And then we're going to go into our gate pose. So reach up and over, basically trying to grab for those toes again. We want to keep the chest open and expanded. So if you feel yourself kind of rotating down to the thigh again, this is more of an outer oblique stretch. So let's focus there when we do that. Once again, inhale, reach up, exhale, drop. Let's go to the other leg now. Maybe looking out over the toes or bowing your head towards your front knee. Feel that stretch along the back of the thigh from heel all the way up to your hip. As you rise up, thread hand to opposite thigh, and then reach your top arm up and over, opening the chest as you do. So that rotation, like you're trying to look up towards the sky. Coming back in, we are going to fold our knees. So slowly walk your heels in toward your hips, create enough space so you can drop one knee down to your heel at a time, checking in with your hips. Try the other side, knees down towards the mat, check in with your hips. Let's do that again. Knee to heel, maybe light pressure, switch sides, knee to heel. And then from here, let's come into Malasana. So walk your heels in towards you, hands beside your hips, lift your hips up, and then walk your hands around to the front. Let's try that again. Knee to the mat, knee to the heel. Knee to the mat, knee to the heel. So check in with your hips. You're only going as far as feels right for you. Another option would be to just shift side to side. Maybe lift your heel as you shift away. And then we're going to hold it to one side. Opposite arm reaches up to the sky. All right, kick your leg out. All right, so I'm going to call, we are bent into our left knee. I'm sliding into Skandasana from here. Option, go for your bind. You might also say to yourself, you know what, I don't want to be in a bind and I don't want to do Skandasana, and that is fine. You can sit all the way down and keep that knee folded. Let's go ahead back into Malasana, into your yogi squat. Lean over to your right side now. Reach, 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 reach. Extend that left leg out. Maybe drop down into your heel. That's going to give you the most stability and balance. But again, if you want to sit all the way down onto your mat, you are welcome to do just that. Bind or no bind. And then let's slowly begin to lift ourselves up. So we're going to bring the hands down, keeping a wide stance. Pull your chest back through your thighs and then lean just a little bit side to side, bending one knee at a time. After this last one, center, walk through, pulling your body back as far as you are comfortable going. Now as you breathe, see if you can bend your elbows and pull yourself back a little bit more. Last deep breath, and then walk the hands back in between your arches. Walk your feet in a little bit, come into Goddess. Now as you do, outer edges of the feet pushing into the floor, knees are open. Reach all the way up. Exhale, arms come out to the sides. Let's take a big step in and give yourself a well-deserved hug. Thank you so much for coming today. Namaste. Hope you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day, week, month, year. Until next time, take care, farewell, and be well.